Love you too.
All righty. This is Bonnie Serratore and Chris Willaims. I am live from New York, and Chris is live from Poland. And we want to just share the benefits of foundations and why we are so excited about it. Chris, I know that you took foundations many years ago, and you've been an accelerator. And I just want to share, Chris when he was a client, Chris was a client, and he got the work, and he was so excited about it. He kept asking me to take the class, and I kind of was thinking, oh yeah, right. He didn't really want to, but he did. Look where he's at now. So, Chris, can you share a little bit why did you do this? Why did you really want to take foundations? Why did you want to become this kind of healer?
Well, as sort of, I'd heard about Bonnie from some very close friends of mine that had one of their mentors had studied with her, and so I had this idea. Okay, there's this person out there that I should check out. But when I first came to you, Bonnie, I don't know if you remember, but I was really fucked up. I was a mess. I'd been through about 7 years of just crippling depression, and I was a young person as well. I struggled to find anything that made a difference. And what you were doing, what you did for me in those sessions was like night and day. And I was like, I've had a very strong feeling. I had a knowing, really, this is my teacher. And I also had a knowing, this is what I want to do. And so, yeah, I was serious. And I think there's so much need. These teachings are not known. We don't have the tools to be able to deal with what we're carrying often, but they are there. And this is one way of really getting into what people are holding and helping them release it into freedom so that they can become open, so that they become sort of experience how wonderful life is. And so I was just completely hooked. And it's such a wild ride. It's sort of, because it's drawing you closer to who you are, to divinity, to all this love and the energetics of sort of all this light that begins to sort of really come through these kind of huge dark spaces where we've held all this kind of conditioning for many lifetimes. So it's just a total privilege and pleasure, you know. uh, and Bonnie's work is unique in that it goes deeper than most things are able to do. It allows you to sort of track sort of with precision these very complicated layers of sort of patterns and energetics that most people can talk about but can't really get their awareness into, and let alone shift. And that's what the training is doing. It's getting the building blocks of how can I get my awareness and tracking and energetic sort of bridging into these places in an energy system, and begin to track and unravel what's going in there for real, not just to talk about it, not just to imagine it, but to really do it. And that's your skill, and that's what you're sharing, and that's what we're exploring together. And that's the other thing, is this work unlocks people's gifts. So we all have different gifts. We all have different sort of, some of them are from past lives. Other things are just gifts from the divine. They're part of who you are. But this work will bring them out. So you won't look like Bonnie. You won't look like Chris, but your healing will be you. And that's also tremendously exciting. So this work has a lot of freedom in it, which I think is really key for people. There's a sense for what the divine wants to arise and bring out of you. So it's as a training program, it's magic. It's just real magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So some of the things that we deal with is it's not just, like people's emotions. Sometimes we're dealing with health issues and mental well-being issues and physical issues and, all the misperceptions of reality and the conclusions and beliefs that we carry over from all of our past lives, and we bring it here. And, for me, Chris, my whole journey, from great suffering, I was like great suffering. Okay. I had tremendous and severe damage. And most of my life, I just wanted to die. I was 9 years old. I would lay on the floor in my bedroom trying to will my body to die. That's how miserable I was. Most of my life is spent in isolation, away from humans, other people. And for me, my real journey began in 1984. That's when that was the time when I said, okay, this is it. I'm either checking out or something's going to shift. So, and obviously I'm still here, so something shifted. Because I did go into unraveling some really deep wounding. But for me, it became apparent that tracking, finding the seed, the core is vital. And that's what sets me apart from anybody else in the entire world. is that ability to know, because oftentimes psychics or healers or shamans will, they'll look for something, they find it and go, yeah, that's it. No, that's not it. Okay. So it's all about, like, until we clear until there's no emotion. You can't even find the thought, you can't find the reaction, you can't find the emotion. It's like, whoa, it's gone. And I know that's what happened for you too, Chris, So for people that are maybe curious or wanting to know, would this be right program for them, what would you share about that, Chris?
I think if you're drawn towards it, if you have a genuine desire and sort of something inside you is saying, I'm really interested in this, even if your mind's telling you, I don't think I could do that, or I don't know if I'm meant to be a healer, but something inside goes, wow, there's something going on here. Often I would check it out, maybe come and have a chat with one of the accelerators about the program. But often there's something in us which is sort of, we've actually done this work before. Something in us knows what it is, and it's going, yes, this is what this is. This is the road home into freedom, and something is calling you. Something is calling you. So it might not be a mental decision that you sort of, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to do this in February, and blah 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 blah. But it may just be a feeling that, that really looks interesting, or wow, what's on there? I don't understand it, but I'm interested. So I would just. Sometimes that's a sort of a deeper sense of your intuition arising, just to sort of listen to it and check it out. Because I didn't have any clue how to track energy when I first found it. I could feel the changes, but I wasn't psychic in any kind of visual sense. I wasn't able to sort of follow what she was talking about, but it was sort of the fact that you are someone who really does what you say you're doing. You've really done it, or you've really moved that wounding, or you're able to actually track these things. Having someone that can genuinely do it is the first step, because then they begin to draw your energetics into and your consciousness into those places. If you're talking to someone who can't actually do it, but who's got the sort of sound, is able to talk about it, they're not able to bridge your consciousness in it. It's not an intellectual thing. It's a direct sort of movement of awareness that they're helping sort of bridge you through. And with Bonnie as well, she's so direct. Like, you would just tell us, just do it. You can do this. And I would go, I can. And I believed you because it's coming from a deeper place. You were speaking from a sort of a deeper truth. So I was like, okay. And, it just accelerates your capacity to do these things, which is tremendous. So I had no idea I would be able to track energy the way that I can do today. But because, I've with my teachers, it's been a doorway into unveiling what you can really do, what your gifts really are, And so a lot of people who turn up to these classes usually have been healers in other lifetimes. They have the skills. They may not be from this world or dimension, but they are able to work with energy, and they recognize a similar kind of quality of transformational sort of magic and energetics. That's to say, this is a place to really dive deeply into it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And, I've actually had a lot of people that they came to the foundations, not because they really wanted to be a healer, but they wanted the tools, but also because it changed their life. They knew it was going to change their life.
Yes.
Yeah. So, speak on that a little bit, Chris. I mean, because people do come and they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a healer. I'm not going to do that. And yet they come because something speaks very deeply to them about that.
Absolutely. It's sort of like because the layers of energetics that we're exploring, so whether that's past lives or sort of even the discarnates that people carry in their system, sort of other entities that are sort of a match to your energy, and then kind of creating more sort of energetic charge around your issues, or times where we've sort of had encounters with dark force energetics, so things which are negatively aligned this lifetime or other lifetimes, alien interference, and even places where parts of our essence or soul have sort of been shocked out of our body and are hanging out in a space that's not really here. All of those layers that we touch in the course begin to bring us into our own kind of issues and our own sort of makeup. So even the process of it very deeply engages us with what's really going on for us that we may not be aware of yet, but that through this process, it brings us where we need to be for our path, for our own unraveling, and for what's stuck to begin to change. So it's a very direct way of engaging with what's going on for you. I like that word direct. I think that really sums up a lot of your kind of body of work, because it's like it's not indirect, it's not peripheral, it's going straight into the energetic, straight into the core, straight into the root of things, and really getting change, which is a really exciting kind of approach.
Yeah,
And
like life changing.
you've got to pray to someone else to take care of it for you. The divine is coming through, but it's not like we're asking another being to kind of intercede for us. We're part of that process. We're waking up our own capacity to deal with what's here, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Right. So you're actually going to be doing a little bit of a demo, or not what will be called a more of a live opportunity for people. Yeah, you want to share about that?
Yes. So on February 4th at 3 p.m. EST, I'm going to be running a 90-minute sort of workshop intro class where I'll demo a little bit of the different sort of components. So whether that's dealing with dark forces, past lives, alien interference, and just sort of showing people what that really looks like in terms of working with someone, and beginning to sort of see if we can just bridge our awareness into some of those things, just so you can get a flavor of the different sort of components of this course and the work, to see if it's for you, but also just to sort of have an experience of seeing it. Because I think sometimes in the healings, Bonnie's moving so quickly that it's hard to even conceptualize what she's doing. You know, you're just experiencing this incredible shift of energy, but we'll just go into it and sort of highlight some of those layers that we'll be looking at on the course, so that you have an experience of them. Yeah.
Right. So, so it's at, oh yeah, you gave the time. So it starts at 3 Eastern Standard Time for about a 90-minute. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So this would be a great opportunity if anyone's like curious, even, or just wondering, even what is this really about? What is this work about? This would be a great opportunity too for people, excuse me, to be able to really see it, and you're going to break it down a bit so people understand what you're doing, and this way people will have a better awareness, and also visually seeing it, hearing it, watching it, just seeing what's shifting and changing for people, like instantly, right, Chris? Like, you know, when something's gone, you can't find it, it's over. Okay, so this is a great way, great opportunity for anyone who just even wants to get a better sense of what is foundations, what is it Bonnie does, what is it Chris does, what are these people doing, and why is it so effective, why is it so potent and powerful, why is it working better than anything else? So this would be the time, great opportunity to meet Chris and watch him in action, and then get a sense of who, you know, feel his energy, feel him, his presence, and also to truly get a way better sense of what's really behind all these little things that all of us are doing, you know, as an accelerator at spiritual acceleration. So again, you know, I'm welcoming everybody. Chris is an amazing healer. He's an awesome being. And I just remember, I just have so many wonderful thoughts of you, Chris, you know, way back, you know, you used to crack me up. You know, I know I said this before many, many times, but I can't help it. Chris would understand. So we go into a session immediately, you know, he'd lay down on the floor and get his computer ready so I could kind of see him as he's laying down. I mean, he knew just like that. He's like, okay, here we go. He gave me the download of here, this is what's up, okay, here we go. And then he would lay down and we'd do the clearing, and his mind would be blown. So it was so cute. I loved it. and now here he is on the team. Yeah, so one of the major players on the team, actually. So very cool. So I highly recommend Chris as a teacher. He's a profound teacher, very thorough and very heartfelt, very loving being. So gentle, loving being. So if you want to get in on this, even again, just to discover, what is it? What does it mean? What does it look like? Yeah, February 4th, next Saturday at 3 Eastern Standard Time. All right, Chris, anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I was thinking today that sort of often think people talk about sort of mysteries or esoteric secrets, but none of this is really secret. It's all right here. There's nowhere else for it to be, but you have to be able to, can you see it? Can you recognize it? Can your awareness perceive these layers of that sort of intangible energy that's interpenetrating things? So it's like these aren't secrets, but unless you can get your awareness into it, then it will be a mystery. But what's exciting about the foundations is we sort of peel off the curtain and get to see, this opens us up to this whole world of life that's sort of behind what we think is going on, and it's an exciting ride. So look forward to seeing you there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing, Chris. Awesome. All right, everyone. So yeah, check it out. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching the video and meeting Chris and me. So like I said, live from New York, live from Poland. So hopefully we'll see some of you, or Chris will see some of you next Saturday. And then some of you may be able to attend. Oh, and then we're also going to be given a little bit of for attending that class. Anyone who does sign up that day will get a little bit of a discount. I think we're going to give like maybe a 10% discount, just to saying thanks for showing up. Thanks for being interested and curious. And thank you for wanting to take the program. All right, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. Chat soon, guys.
Yep. All right. Till next time, everyone. Bye-bye.